Previously on information here. There's also like a radio.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. Looks like this furnace has a face, and it's a face of agony.
Looks like it. Looks like an old central furnace used to heat the building. It's connected to the chimney. No one has used it in ages. No signs of any recent fire. Only dead.
It's dark
Oops, sorry.
and grimy here. In the darkness you can
Only
hear
dead rats.
chatter. It's coming from above. A voice, or several voices, talking to each other. Near the smoke chamber, upstairs.
What are you doing? Wait, really? We should investigate, see if someone's upstairs. You're right. The rooms do look like they're connected, but malignant entities don't exist. At least not the supernatural kind.
Then what was the chatter you heard?
Okay, leave. Don't give away your presence first. Okay. Rusty rifle. Rifle?
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a compartment behind the wall. It's too dark to see in.
Seems like an old bunker from the revolutionary period. Look at all those rifles. Must be an old weapons cache. There is, yes. And there also appears to be something inside the hole. Interesting. Do you want to take a look? Sure. Okay, here's some more rifles. None of these seem to be working. No! An old Belmagrave rifle. That's rare to find in such good order. Seems to no longer be functional, but still rare. Here.
This should cheer you up.
It's yours, officer. You found this place.
What does this mean, a rifle here?
It means there are firearms, albeit inoperable, still lying around in Martinez. It's an interesting coincidence, I would say. Might come in useful in the future.
He likes this find.
I sort of like this one
A
too.
few
kinda.
bricks have fallen off.
I was wondering if I could do it again. I chose him to do it because he is probably more agile than I am. Because this character is based on being not agile, so I was like, I'd probably fuck it up if I did it. Okay. Watermarks. Go to the kinema and turn on the lights. Okay. Get there fast. Okay. First off. Ooh.
Two cables are plugged into the breaker box. The red one leads to the ice bear fridge, and the black one to the ice cream maker nearby.
Don't want to give away my position. I don't have any clue if they would know whether or not this thing turns on or off. Intercom wire that leads to the breaker box. Take that money. Some people's feet shuffle on the street. Wasn't a whole lot of people up there, so I doubt you. Okay. Upstairs. There was an upstairs. It's right here. Shoes in a puddle of melting snow. That means it was recent. Postcard.
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. This must be where the entity lives. What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens. Still nothing. No one's home. Those curtains prove to be surprising.
There must be another way to wake up whoever is in there.
Okay. Alrighty then. Now I know what to do. Now that I know I have to do this, because I was trying to be sneaky before, but now that I know I have to do this.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the...
Hello?
You've awakened the entity. And it's a woman. Of course. The malicious entities are always women.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs. The sound of a curtain being pulled aside.
After you, officer.
Smear your hands with coal? I'll leave, dude. Stop having such weird impulsive thoughts. Okay, since I... Well, I don't know what's going on. Maybe they could, like, work together. Maybe it's an ice cream shop bookstore, you know. Maybe they'll work together. With whatever the secondary plan to this place was. Because one was like a weird RPG D&D, like, setup. And then the other one was like a... Oh. Hello. Oh, they're cool looking. Hello. What's this? Dice. Oh! Candy dispensers.
Hello. I'm Nia.
A bird-like woman sits on a throne of tools with an emerald eye shining through her hair.
Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Melius.
She taps on her headphones.
So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps
Hold
it's
on,
wise to
what
go
do you
along
mean
with
by
this
malicious?
masquerade for now.
You must have confused us with someone else. I haven't knocked on your window.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind?
Hold on.
Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking.
Why are you asking about the dice?
I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong. Role-playing games? You know the one made by Fortress Accident. Does that count?
I'm sure I like role-playing games. Sure, I like role-playing games, and I needed some dice. Maybe, I'm not really sure why I'm here, honestly. No, I'm looking for something else. Squint your eyes mysteriously? Answers. Uh, I'm not interested in buying dice right now. I'm a police officer and I need to ask some questions.
How strange. Well, if you're interested, my rate is 10 real per set, unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there's any particular stone you want to use.
Why were you here in this place? So, how did you
How
become a
did I
dice maker?
become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition.
Can I put away my flashlight? I don't want to keep shining this light in this girl's face.
Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dice out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there.
Do you like role-playing games yourself?
Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
She's thankful for the security they provide her.
Okay, I'd like to order some dice from you. What do you know about the man? I'll go with this one first.
We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know.
It's strange, I know.
But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney. You should ask her about the curse.
Creative.
Creative. Well, looks around at the spacious room, its ceiling fades and shadows above. Order some dice from you. Rolling gig. I've heard this place is cursed. Do you know about the people who called the... Do you know what happened to the other tenants? Everyone else is gone. I'll go with this one first.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific?
Rats scuttle in the dark rooms under the abandoned blow dryers.
There used to be
and
a salon
dusty
here, right?
mannequins. Cobwebs cover rotors and radio computers alike. So much failure.
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you.
What's wrong with a little bit of experimenting? The customer should have been more open-minded. I would have never let anyone androgynous touch my hair. What? I guess I'm a simple man. I don't really have any opinions on my hairstyle.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet.
Yeah. What happened to the
Wasn't
gym?
really a gym. It was Artemiteps Boxing Club, a
Ah.
community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime.
And who was Artip? Maybe that's what Kuno needs.
A kind man from Zemsk. I heard he had some trouble with the law when he was younger, and that's why he wanted to start the gym, as his way of giving back. Kuno. Who's Kuno?
He's sort of a king around here. He's a little ginger gremlin who likes to defile dead bodies.
Oh yes, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth. Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid.
I love you. How did that community project work out? Conclude. Judging from the kids I've met so far, didn't really work out, did it?
It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines.
You should have known it.
Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since.
What happened to the broken windows?
Oh, this one's a mess.
Besides.
there used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff medias. Who would have guessed? And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway, and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own.
Cool, very cool about the debris, but it's a shame that those windows. About those windows, I'm not even going to ask about them.
Yeah, don't.
Did someone here make stuffed animals? I saw a bunch laying
You
around.
mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs.
But what drugs exactly?
I need to know what drugs he was doing for my police report. Would it pass?
Anything else?
I found a
There used
creepy
to be a
mannequin.
fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years, until the insect rights activists came.
Insect right activists? What in the name of? Did you know insects had any rights?
Mm-hmm. The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings. And you know how all kinds of political movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection.
They got what they deserved. Making clothes from the beetle wings is a terrible idea.
Really? Anyway,
Red Dead Fly is laying up.
Poor guy.
Anyways,
Suddenly, you get a feeling that insects are important to the case somehow. It's hard to say why.
okay. What's with the rotor blades and
they were made
skis?
by a company called Slipstream.
Yep.
After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tiumotiri or Hashtkor or wherever he is.
Intermission? What do these transmissions say?
The usual, I imagine. That he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess.
I found a strange machine.
Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She liked them.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about role-playing systems every now and then. Once, I even saw two of them get into fisticuffs over Wirral. They certainly took their work very seriously, even if they seemed to be chronically liberal with their schedules.
What do you mean liberal? What happened?
The usual. They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
What went wrong?
Well, I did hear them talking at times.
Oh, you can chit chat behind current cigarette break.
They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
So far, the project did look quite impressive.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic, and to show up to work on time.
She's right. Showing up to work on time is important. Showing up to work on time is hard. No, scratch that. Showing up to work at all is difficult, especially if you've been drinking.
Well, showing up to work on time is incredibly hard. That's too bad. I would have supported them. The project looked great. You're right. They should have just tried harder.
Not the wisest decision. You would have lost all your savings.
She tossed a pair of dice on the table. One of them stops near the edge. The metallic
The
disc.
result is 1 on a 20-sided die. The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes, like snowfall.
Anything else?
This
Oh boy, the fabled Revachol ICT. You're in for a treat here. The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
All right. What about their other
There
ideas?
was really just one. And it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Oh,
Fritter does the same thing.
what? She looks like Frita, cashier. Particular friendly. What did you expect? 20 cents per hour is dog's pay. I'm surprised they showed up at work at all. That's an award-winning idea. Do you have any opinions on employing teens? Frita does it. I know a girl just like that. She works at the Frita as a cashier. She's not particularly friendly.
Employing silky teenage girls is a widespread practice, yes. Unfortunately, they always come in packs. I'm talking about acne-ridden girlfriends and gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the shop. At least that's what happened with Revachol ICT. And they already had the bear.
Close your eyes. What about the bear?
The bear.
A bear. She repeats the president done. Headache. It didn't work
Of
out.
course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Revachol ICT lost the price war to its rival, Glacé 5000. Glacé 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges.
Nod solemnly. It's the market doing its job. I'm sure the bear was doing its best. The bear was scary. Every time I saw the bear, I felt scared, like it could come to life at any moment.
Maybe, because the taxidermist who made that bear definitely wasn't. Doing his best, I mean.
How come?
He said that the bear was his vision beast.
Hmm.
He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. Called it Megatherion.
Scary, but cool.
What's a vision beast? Very cool. Megatherium?
Megatherion, a mega wild beast.
What's a mega? What's a
It's
mega?
an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly.
A wise and noble beast. The horrific necktie.
Oops. Guide you
tightens
towards
around
the
your
land
neck,
of the streets
strangely
paved with trucks.
excited. But it doesn't feel particularly fun this time around.
Okay. I don't know.
Understandable. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all. Anyway, now you know the story of the fallen ice cream empire.
Outside it's light. Light scatters from the low-hanging cloud cover. There's always the threat of snow.
Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? Good. I hope it clarified things a bit.
It did.
What else? I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true.
Wait, how do you explain what happened to all those companies then?
Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow?
Actually, the bookstore isn't doing that well. Are hardly any customers, and she has to exploit her own daughter to keep the company going.
All right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in racks? Some people say it's part of the building complex.
Doom commercial? Hold on, the whirling is part of the Doomed commercial? Yes, but it's separate building. You're right, the whirling doesn't really look like it's cursed.
And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
Well, you're not paying rent and you're
It's
kind of...
because she's in cahoots with the demons.
I mean, you're kind of hiding in someone. Thinks it's because you're the source of it. It's because you're competent and dedicated to your craft. The curse doesn't affect people. The curse will get to you. I'll be the first to admit there are many inconsistencies about this so-called curse.
I was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity.
Crazy.
Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for
I
the
think it
forces
still
of the
might be
universe are
you
supporting
that's
you
causing
in
this.
seeking
Narrows your eyes
quest.
very mysteriously. I'm starting to see that there is no curse, only business decisions that natural market fluctuations. Honestly, nope. This one.
Exactly. Truth is always so disappointingly mundane and boring.
Yep.
But I'm glad we got this sorted out. Anything else I can help you with today?
Why hasn't her business failed? No, I don't want to do that.
I'm listening.
Oops, I already asked all these questions. I'm
Good.
not
I
actually.
hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
Oh. Hello? It's not letting me go back up, so I'll just do this by
Nothing
hand.
really. I didn't know him.
The lieutenant looks at his notebook, then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window.
What do you mean the daily ruckus and you never took your eyes off? And you never took your eyes off?
I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness. It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone. It's an odd profession, making dice for people, but I like it, and I prefer doing this to sitting at home.
She nods.
Anything else, officer?
Oh?
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind.
Very regularly, I'm looking for something to help with my work. I actually need more time to think about it.
Ah, yes. Fortress accident. It's too bad they never finished their game. The Wiro Untethered die is a variation of a standard role-playing die. Only, instead of plants, it uses motifs of ice and death. And loss, of course. I'm thinking something made from alligator jawbone, cast in black resin. The reptile bone is as white as ice and dead as, well, death. For 7 real, I could have it ready in 8 hours.
What do you need to cast it in resin? It's a deal. Gonna die. I'm doing it!
Great. See you in 8 hours then. Was there anything else?
No.
Lonesome, long way home. Here we go. Home awaits. Walk past Station 41 and through the market, past the Boogie Street spearhead to the other side of the lake, the frozen eye at the center of the district. Then past the video rental store on the corner. There, at the end of a street lined with pine trees, a small house no larger than a matchbox. 11 Voyager Road. You no longer live there. Those times are gone. And so are those people. Why did you come here? Why are you still here? And where's the dealer? You have to get back to work. That's all you have now.
That is the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed the show. Beep bop boop boop beep ba doo, doo bop beep bop boop ba doo, ee da boo boo. Like and subscribe or whatever. I don't really care actually. I don't really care what you guys do. Anyways, yeah, good enjoy your fucking show. Okay? Goodbye. Click all those other videos if you want. Yeah, bye. Please, bye.